Hello guys, this winter hundreds of thousands of Russians are freezing in their homes. And not because of the Ukrainian drones, because we never target civilian infrastructure, but because of the Kremlin economic mismanagement. And honestly, I believe we do not talk enough about various social problems that are caused by the collapsing Russian economy that is collapsing because of Putin's failed blitzkrieg and the fact that he underestimated the Ukrainian resilience and overestimated the Russian army. Today in Zabaykalye, hundreds of thousands of people are without heating and the temperatures are really low. Many of you know that winters are very severe in Russia, and the further you are to the east, the further you are from Moscow, the worse climate is. So literally, when at night the temperature drops to minus 20, minus 29 Celsius, and that is minus 4, minus 20 Fahrenheit, people literally don't know what to do. They try to ask for support from the regional government, from the Kremlin, but no money are left. All are spent on the attacks of Ukrainian kindergartens, destruction of Ukrainian schools, instead of repairs inside Russia that are super needed in very different parts of this enormously large country. A similar situation took place in Irkutsk, that is also far from Moscow, and there approximately 200,000 people were left without heating, without warm water for more than a week, just because they did not have money to repair the heating system. A spoiler, it would cost approximately 1.5 seconds of Russia's war against Ukraine to repair that heating system. But living standards, quality of life inside Russia was never a priority for Putin. So let's talk a little bit more on this. My name is Anna, I'm from Ukraine, I'm in Ukraine, and if you want to see Putin in The Hague, subscribe and share these videos to spread the truth. Many of you know that winters are severe in Russia. They are strong in Ukraine, but incomparably different because Russia is super big. It has many time zones and many different climate zones. And a lot of territories inside the Russian Federation are close to the North Pole, and people can experience really low temperatures. That's why the quality of their roads, of their housing, hospitals, cars is super important if you live in harsh conditions. And Putin never cared about that. And now, when they do not have enough money for the regional budgets, when they don't have enough money even for Moscow, they start ignoring the problems that amass in regions. A couple of weeks ago, I was reading about people in Irkutsk, and that is super far away. That is on the far east of Russia. By the way, a region that once tried to become independent, and you can clearly see the reasons why, because they give all of their natural resources, all of their money to Moscow, and in return they get nothing, just the conscription for their men. And in Irkutsk, 160,000, close to 200,000 people were without heating. They didn't have warm water, they didn't have water in the heating system, and the temperatures are really low there. For example, right now I'm in the Carpathians. You may see the background behind me, and the temperature here is like -1, -2 Celsius, which is pretty low. We have a lot of snow. Subscribe to my Instagram, link in the description to watch more of everyday life in Ukraine and in Carpathians including. But in the far east of Russia, the temperatures are very, very low. Something that when we experienced back in times of my childhood in Ukraine, we would be allowed not to go to school. And for the far east of Russia, that's okay. So with temperatures, like I tried to convert in Fahrenheit, -20 Celsius is -4 Fahrenheit, -29 Celsius is -20 Fahrenheit. Difficult to get the logics, but anyway, people did not have warm water. They did not have it. And the problem is, it's not just about a couple of bad days. It's also about the system that may freeze, and then these pipelines, they explode because of ice, and it takes a different space and shape. So a couple of days without heating result in months without heating because the system is broken. And when watching these people talk about some minor problems they had and how they contacted local authorities, how they asked for that heating system to be repaired in advance, they themselves mentioned that the price of that repairs costs nothing in comparison to the Russian special military operation, as they describe, and they counted that the amount of money they needed to repair a system and to bring heating to 160,000 people at least was less than 2 seconds of Russia's war in Ukraine, because literally every day Putin burns billion on the destruction of Ukrainian kindergarten. Just think about the level of this madness, and that is the best reminder he must be defeated, he must be held accountable. And a similar situation now takes place in Zabaykalye. According to their Telegram channels, thousands of people have problems with the warm water pipeline, once again because of frosts and low quality maintenance. It got broken, and in the result, lots of families do not have heating in their homes, and that is during the coldest and the darkest period in Russia. And they know that no one will come and help them, and something is wrong with the civil society in that country. They do not organize well, they do not support each other as we do in Ukraine. So honestly, Putin wanted to freeze Ukrainians during like literally every winter of his full-scale invasion of this big war, and constantly failed because of our adaptation and because we care for each other. And without Ukrainian bombings, without Ukrainian drones, one by one Russian regions are turned off of heating because of the Russian negligence and the fact that they literally do not care about the standards of living in Russia. And I'm sure all of you understand that if Putin invested billions and billions of dollars he spends on violence in Ukraine into the Russian Federation, that could be one of the richest countries on the planet. But somehow he has different priorities, and unfortunately millions who supported him because they like bullies, because they like mocking smaller nations or something like that, do not connect the dots, you know. I'm always surprised to read the comments of these apolitical Russians who keep talking about no heating in their homes, no goods in their supermarkets, closed trading centers, I don't know, inflation, banking crisis, ATMs that stopped giving them the sums of money they want to withdraw. They blame everyone. They blame the United States, NATO, aliens, me and you, but they never think about their war, the fact that they decided to do something that they shouldn't have, the fact that they burn billions of dollars on the destruction, once again, of Ukrainian kindergartens. That's crazy. And it also demonstrates that sometimes nation needs to be saved from outside. Anyway, let me know what is the temperature in your countries, in your cities, because that's always interesting to see how big we are, how international we are. And I always read the comments, and I'm always grateful when you share your thoughts and your opinions. It's okay to disagree, because that's what people do on democratic channels, in democratic countries. Discussion can bring us closer to the truth, to the justice. So let me know what's the temperature like in your countries. Subscribe to my Anna Danilchuk channel. There is a new video that I consider important, but people do not watch very actively. That's about 26 years of Putin's reign. Follow me on X, Instagram, Blue Sky, Threads, Discord, and check our merch shop for a discount on our calendars that bring luck in 2026 and remind the world about Ukraine and our victories on the way to defeat and demilitarize Russia. That is the only working peace plan. Thank you for buying me coffees, becoming my patrons and sponsors of the channels, but most importantly, thank you for standing with Ukraine. Thank you for being friends of mine and friends of all the freedom-loving people. Slava Ukraini!